let people in as they join.
Sounds good. All right, you're at the controls.
We are recording as well, and I'm queued up for that video too.
Thank you very much. So everybody, welcome. I'm Tim Swanson, the managing partner and general manager, and on behalf of our ownership group, we're very excited today to have some good news to talk about. It's been obviously a challenging year for so many, and our hearts go out to so many who have had challenges they've had to deal with here this year. And honestly, I think it's nice to talk about something other than that C word that's been part of our lives for a little bit. And we appreciate all the people who've reached out to us during this time, reached out to our partners who are having a tough time and have supported what's going on in the community, which is we're going through some tough times here, guys, right now. And it's about empathy, it's about understanding, and it's about acting the right way and with integrity and responsibility towards what's happening in our community. And with that in mind, it's nice to be able to give some what we think is outstanding news here today. And I want to thank the people who are part of this in a major way. And before I turn it over to Coach Todd Haney, I want to welcome in Mr. Tom Granger and his class from Belmont Secondary. Tom, do you want to come on and for a second and talk about your class? We wanted to have a community aspect to this here as well today. And Tom, if you're able to unmute and talk about what your class is and what role this plays for your class here today being part of this.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to see what's being announced today. We've been spending a lot of time in our class this semester talking about the recovery coming up and just looking at different businesses in the community and how they're getting ready to go for life after this virus. So yeah, thanks for having us.
And how many students in your class, and tell me what the class is about? And
well, just to keep everybody spread out, we're on half days. So we've got about 12 in the morning and 12 in the afternoon. And yeah, so doing a lot of projects and business pitches like on Shark Tank last week. And yeah, it's been really good.
Hey, Jim, we're going to have to get Tom a different hoodie to wear.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Tom. I very much appreciate it. If I could ask everybody just quickly, if you could all put yourselves on mute as well, too, except for the couple of people that I'm going to have talking here. If that's possible. And with that, I'd like to thank Tom and his class for being here. And I'd like to turn it over to our head coach of the Victoria Harbour Cats, Todd Haney, who is going into his second year as head coach, third year with the Harbour Cats organization. And to toot his horn a little bit, posted a 39-win season in his first year in the West Coast League, which is the third best record in the history of the West Coast League for regular season, and took the team within really a couple of innings of winning the first championship for the Harbour Cats in the West Coast League. Todd, please tell us why we're excited to be here today.
Well, thank you for having me, and I appreciate everybody that is here. And so hopefully everybody's safe. And but we wanted to give you some really good news. So for me, I think everybody that's been around me knows how much I love Victoria, knows how much I love the city, the fans, our front office. It's such a great opportunity for anybody to be a part of Victoria and the West Coast League. We continue to grow as an organization. We continue to grow as a league. So there's so many positive things going on that is just exciting on a year in and year out basis. Today, what we wanted to do is we just continue to add great people to the organization. And so we're real excited about this next individual that will be joining our organization. Unfortunately, last year we didn't play, and Mark Pekajzik, it was scheduled to coach with us last summer. I'm excited to announce that he will be back for this upcoming summer. Mark and I were teammates at the University of Texas. Mark played professionally, pitched for 9 years in the big leagues, and had a heck of a career, and will be a great asset to what we're doing in Victoria, which obviously is looking to win our first championship. But we're fortunate to add another former teammate of mine and another really good friend. We've been friends for 30 years. We coached together last summer in the Constellation League in Sugar Land, which was made up of professional players that were unable to play due to COVID. So we had a great opportunity to coach together there. 17-year Major League veteran, won a World Series during his phenomenal career. And so I'm thrilled that I get to coach with a friend of mine, but also that the impact that he's going to have in Victoria for the city and for the team. So I think I've talked enough. So I'd love to announce that Greg Swindell will be joining the Harbor Cats coaching staff. He's going to be our bench coach. He's going to help out with pitching and a little bit of everything.
Greg, welcome. Greg, welcome to the team. Your turn, man.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I want to thank Todd for allowing me to be on his coaching staff along with Mark and the other guys and yourself to have an opportunity to pass on knowledge, to be able to talk to the young guys, the kids, the players that are on the team. Not saying that we know everything, but we've been around the game a long time, and we're going to do our best to pass on experiences that we go through. And that's the main thing that the kids want to hear is experiences. How'd you get over this? How'd you get over that? And to be able to do that at this level, I've coached at college level for a couple times at Texas, volunteer coached. I've done the professional level. I've never gone out in the summer. So funny story, how a few years ago, we were on an Alaskan cruise and I saw that we were passing by Victoria. And so I texted Todd and I said, hey, Wade, we're on the ship going to Alaska. And he said, stop by on the way in, on your way back to Seattle. And I go, I didn't think we were going, that was our last stop on our way back to Seattle. Text Todd, we had lunch, him and Kira, and went and saw the stadium, went around the city and fell in love with it. It's a beautiful place. And so to get an opportunity to come spend the summer, get away from the heat down here in Texas for sure, but to spend the summer in such a great city and play baseball and pass knowledge and be with good people is a great opportunity.
Greg, thanks so much. Christian, if you can, we have a video that we've taken a bit from. Greg is a member of the College Baseball Hall of Fame, has been inducted and was inducted in 2019 into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. And this is a video of, we believe this should work perfectly, a video of Greg's career dating from Texas through to his pro time. Christian, if you can put that up on the screen.
Yep, I'm just going to share my screen, everybody, so you'll see some things pop up. So bear with me for a second. Hopefully everybody's seeing that. And hopefully everybody's hearing that.
During the mid-1980s, Greg Swindell was one of the most dominant pitchers in college baseball. His career totals at the University of Texas are staggering. He compiled a 43-8 record in 77 games with a 1.92 ERA. In 50 starts, the three-time All-America pitched 32 complete games and set school records with 14 career shutouts and 501 strikeouts. He remains among the top 10 in the Longhorn record book for ERA, victories, innings, appearances, starts, and complete games. Swindell was a member of 3 Southwest Conference championship teams, and in 1984 and 1985 led the Longhorns to a second-place finish at the College World Series. In 1985, his 19-2 record, 1.67 ERA, 15 complete games, and 204 strikeouts earned him National Player of the Year honors from Baseball America. Swindell pitched in the major leagues from 1986 to 2002 and had 1,542 career strikeouts. He was an All-Star in 1989 with Cleveland and was a member of the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks World Championship team. Greg Swindell now takes his rightful place among the best pitchers in history as a member of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame.
I can hear all that cheering in the background. That was all the people on this call, by the way, Greg, in case you were wondering.
Good.
Greg, can you just quickly talk about maybe some of the highlights of your career? I'd like to bring up one or point you in a direction. That World Series, you made 3 appearances against the Yankees in 2001. Didn't allow a run. You struck out some guys who were, like yourself, name legends in the game. Talk about that experience in pitching on the biggest stage possible in the game.
Well, you didn't think it was going to happen to begin with. It was during 9/11. It was after 9/11 that year. So, when you smile because you think you might not ever get there for one. That was my 15th year in the major leagues and made it to the World Series. But after 9/11, to be able to get in a game one, I finished game one. We were up 9-1. Kurt Schilling threw a great game, and I got to finish it. Got a pop fly. I think Posada hit a pop fly to center and made the last out of that game. So that was a pretty big moment in my life. And then to go to New York after 9/11 and visit Ground Zero and first responders and all that was an amazing experience, just to see what they have gone through and to be part of maybe bringing the world back as far as taking everyone away from the game or the world and putting them inside a baseball stadium for a few hours to get their minds off everything. And that was a fun thing to be a part of. And then there was a moment in Yankee Stadium, I got to pitch 2 games there. And I did, I just looked around and kind of big sigh and grinned because I couldn't believe I was pitching in the World Series, much less against the New York Yankees. And to be able to do well personally, but also to go back to Arizona and beat one of the best closers in the history of the game and Rivera and win a World Series ring. So definitely a highlight, probably the biggest highlight of my career professionally. But I look forward to this summer maybe putting a ring with this right here.
I like that. Well,
I got my Harbor Cats. Which one you want? You want that one or you want the camo? Which one you want?
Depends if you're going hunting down there. I'm sure you do a little bit of that.
Oh, we've done a couple times.
Yeah. I'll ask you about for one other career moment, if I can, the All-Star game in 1989. To me, it's astounding when I looked at your career, Greg. 86, you're drafted 2nd overall by the Cleveland Indians. You made a grand total of 3 appearances in the minor leagues before going from A-ball right to the big leagues. You dominated 3 starts there, and you were an all-star in 89. And the guy who pitched before you in that game, or 2 pitchers before you in that all-star game, was Nolan Ryan. Talk about that experience, being his teammate, being a Texas guy. You're a Houston guy. And what that was like for you.
In my office, there's one other jersey besides mine, and it's a Nolan Ryan jersey. So yeah, he's a hero growing up, but in Houston, he was an Astro for a long time. And then to be able to meet him, playing against him, and then that All-Star game, there were a bunch of young guys, Mike Henneman, Jeff Russell, a lot of those young pitchers, first All-Star game, and Nolan was in the bullpen with us. And he got through warming up, and he came and sat down, and it was just quiet. No one really knew what to say or do because this guy's got 25 years in the big leagues already, and he's about to go in a game pitching in California where he threw a few no-hitters for the Angels, and there's 75,000 people there. And I grabbed a towel and got him some water. I said, no. Here, he thank you, Greg, and got quiet again. And I turned around and I go, well, Nolan, are you nervous? I just asked him, does people like that still get nervous? And he just kind of looked up and he goes, well, Greg, I guess I'd be lying if I said I ain't. And kind of relaxed everyone else that was in that bullpen. And when that gate opened and 75,000 people knew he was coming out and to pitch in that game was a pretty incredible moment.
Thanks a lot, Christian. I'll turn it over to you for people who have questions.
Yeah, I think there's a few media on board here. I did put a note in the chat. If anybody would like to ask a question, please let me know there. But we can be less formal than that if we need to be. If somebody from the media wants to jump in, please do so. Identify who you are, what publication or outlet you're with, and go from there.
Hey, it's Cleve from the Times Colonist.
Go ahead, Cleve.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to ask Greg, at this level, Greg, a lot of single A clubs, as you know, are transitioning over to summer collegiate ball just because of the business, the way it's going in baseball. How important is this level, and how important is it for these kids to extend it's a summer sport and it ends, in the NCAA in spring. How important is it to extend this in their, playing seasons into the summer season, and do you see this level of ball growing in importance in the baseball development industry?
I definitely do, because they're cutting away so many minor leagues teams and cities. So and with everything going on in the world, the pandemic, a lot of guys haven't played in a year. So if the more you play, the better you get. You can practice all you want, but game situations is the only way you're going to learn. And I think it's a great opportunity for all the kids to play the full summer. Yeah, you need time off, but you don't need a whole year off. So this level is so important, because you have to get better, because now, like I said, without 60 or 70 something minor league cities and teams played after this is the only place they can go at this age, and some of them might not get the opportunity later. So the more you play, the better you can get, and possibly take it to the next level.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
JP Anatucci from the Canadian Baseball Network, please go ahead.
Hi, Christian. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Greg, congratulations. I was wondering, based on your past coaching experiences, what about those experiences really grabbed you about coaching and convinced you that coaching was something that is a good fit for you?
Well, I volunteered twice at the University of Texas, and both were under Augie Garrido and Tommy Harmon and Skip Johnson, who's now the coach at Oklahoma, the head coach at Oklahoma. So I listen to these guys. And so the more people speak, especially like Todd and Mark and these guys and myself, kids listen, and the knowledge they absorb, and that's the big thing. Like I said, we're not always going to be right, but sometimes we will be, and you have to try things and listen to what we have to say. And I think that's the biggest thing is giving them the knowledge, and throughout the summer, hopefully see it progress and take their game to another level. And that's the biggest thing I get out of it, is just seeing the progression and the maturity of these kids, even over a 2 or 3 month period.
And Christian, can I ask one more, if that's all right?
Yeah, by all means.
Todd, this question for you. I was wondering what you think that bringing in someone with Greg's pedigree will add to the coaching staff at Victoria.
Well, anytime you bring in an individual with so much passion for the game, so much experience, and just an absolute gamer, that will translate to the kids. And, an earlier question was about the importance of summer baseball. Summer baseball is somewhere where is an opportunity for kids to continue to develop, continue to grow. And, you look at our coaching staff, 2 years ago, we set 10 West Coast League offensive records, and a lot of credit goes to our hitting coach, Curtis Peltier, who does a phenomenal job. Thrilled that he's going to be back and continue to work with our offensive guys. But then you add, once again, a Mark Pick-Isaac, a Greg Swindell, and you just continue to add individuals that are passionate about coaching, passionate about teaching, passionate about development. It can only help these college players who have a goal to play professional.
Great. Thank you very much.
Any other questions from media this morning? Any other questions?
Jasmine from Tech.
Go ahead, Jasmine. Sorry.
I did have just a quick general question, just about what this season is going to look like, because obviously, last year it was canceled because of the pandemic. So just wondering what we can sort of expect to see this season.
Hey, Jasmine, I'll take that question. I think at this point, all we can do is prepare to play a full season. to follow the orders as they come. As we all know, the orders, instructions, and asks of our government and our leaders have evolved through this pandemic. And so what we're doing right now is preparing for a full season. And when we get into April and May, if that needs to be, ramped back to follow the orders and the situation with the pandemic at that time, then we'll make those adjustments at that time. But I think, any of us would be, it'd be foolish for any of us to predict what's going to happen in May and June yet. We've seen the vaccine rollout schedules, but those seem to also be, the worst case scenario if there isn't other breaks in this that are more positive. And I think we're all hoping to see a return to normalcy or as close as we can get to it, given all this. And so we're planning for a full season, but we're certainly ready to adjust as necessary. The border, all sorts of things that are involved with our operation. But I think at this point, the only thing we can plan for is a full season, and then make the adjustments. And the mantra we have, Jasmine, within our organization, that if we find out on like May the 20th that we're able to play, we'll be ready to play. We'll be ready to start a season. And if it means some adjustments later on in the summer, we'll make those adjustments later on in the summer.
Right. And just a follow-up on that is, what does that mean for crowd sizes? Have you kind of figured that out yet?
We haven't, and we've talked about various scenarios. Do we expect that there could be a ramped back crowd size? It's possible. Do we expect that may not be the case if masks are in place, or the vaccines have rolled out a little quicker than what the schedule was? And it wouldn't be that much quicker. It would just need to be a little bit quicker. And the other thing is that treatments are coming into play now that may change the game as well. So, it would be difficult to run a program, and probably not possible to run a program if we're not allowed fans at all. But depending on what the limitations may be, and if it's 50%, 75%, if there's distancing required, we're ready to make those adjustments.
Okay, can I ask one more question?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so we know right now that the Royal Athletic Park parking lot is obviously taken up by other residents at the moment. So how does that kind of affect your plans for this season?
Yeah, we're working with the city, and Mayor Lisa Helps and the proposed operator of that complex that's talked about for there reached out to us before that went public, and we've had a chance to provide feedback on different parts of it. We support the needs of the community right now, and it's extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. And I don't think it's ideal for everybody to see the way that could be playing out. But at the same time, we have people that do have needs and do have that are hurting in our community. And I think we need to be respectful of that, hopefully getting into some better weather, and hopefully some plans that are going on with the province, the city, and BC Housing will allow for more stable housing to be done there. And the plans for the tiny homes that are there is to take up a fairly small portion of the of that complex. It's a maximum of 30, and it will still allow for the parking that is the usual and needed parking that's there for not just events, but for the people who work in the area that use that parking lot quite heavily. It's actually one of the most positive parking spots in all of Victoria for the uses and the various uses it provides. So, we're looking forward to the solutions continuing to roll out from the province, the city, and BC Housing, and we'll see how that plays out. But we have things like our neighbors, our business neighbors, and our resident neighbors here have concerns about things that are happening in this part of the community, and we look forward to it all being solved.
Hey, Jim, Chris Cleve here. Can I jump in again?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I just wanted to ask Greg. Greg, you mentioned the 9/11 parallel to this summer and what's happening. It sort of sent chills, up, I'm pretty sure, to all the listeners. Do you see the parallels between this summer and that summer, and how important sport is in the comeback to normalcy?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, the two are comparable, I guess, because of the impact that it's had on the world, not just a couple of countries. It's everywhere. And I mean, if anything positive. And baseball, in my mind, is the best sport in the world. So if that can be done and people can just get there, it's entertainment, it's fun, and the parallel between the two, yeah. I mean, baseball kind of brought the world back in 2001. Right now, 2021, 20 years later, same type situation. And if sports can bring people together to not worry, to not think, and to not have to just listen to it, listen to the crack of the bat, the glove, the ball being thrown. I mean, those things are going to be what people are going to want. And hopefully this will happen. I mean, hopefully it doesn't go in through the summer, and this can help people just get away from everything.
Great. And one more question, Greg, just why is, I don't know if you're aware, but that Shane Bieber came out of the WCL to win the Cy Young this year for Cleveland. But the development angle, I mean, in the NCAA, you come out and play football in the NFL right away. You play hockey out of junior hockey in the NHL if you're good enough right away. And, also same in basketball. It's not the same in baseball. The arc of development is so much longer. Do you know why that is, and how that affects you guys as coaches?
Well, I mean, I don't know why. I guess you have to mature to a certain point. Some kids you grew up with already had facial hair in 9th grade, so they're already getting more mature than the young guy who doesn't grow facial hair. And sometimes it takes just playing a lot of games, pitching a lot of games to understand I'm not going to throw it by every hitter up there. I can't hit every ball that's thrown to me. You have to understand the game is going to wear you down, and a lot of people give up on it. So it's a situation. I think just maturity more than anything, and experience, and believing in yourself, and not giving up. And that's what some people do early in their careers. And you find out what you're made of when you get beat down. And if you get back on the horse, that's a good thing. And that's Bieber has always been a good pitcher, but now he's taken that to the next level. And now he's a great pitcher. So guys can do it. And is there a reason why? Maybe work ethic, maybe, and that's what we're going to do to these guys this summer. Is my big thing is you tell them to play the game right, you have fun, and that everything else will take care of itself. Because having fun, I gave up home runs in my career and laughed about it because I should have made a better pitch. I didn't let it get me down. So having fun and going. Not letting things get you down too much. And the biggest thing though is really for summer ball especially, and Todd can elaborate on this, is just enjoying the opportunity to get out there and play.
Thanks, Greg.
Anybody else with any questions? Any of our fans that are on board here, or any other media?
I would also like to thank my wife. We have a 20-year-old autistic nonverbal son. So he's 24-hour care, and her mother's not doing well right now. And so without her blessing, I wouldn't be able to come up there this summer. And so I appreciate her letting me have this opportunity. Plus, she'll find someone to watch our son. So she wants to really visit Victoria again.
I got a question for Greg.
Yes, sir.
So watching that video, one of the most impressive things that they talked about your college career was the 32 complete games. Back in your era, you were a Bulldog, and pitchers seem to have a higher workload than they do today. They're using a lot of different ways to teach baseball, whether it be the drive line process, spin rate, yada, 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 decrease pitch counts, decrease innings, but yet the arm injuries seem to be going up. Why do you think that is?
Because if you try to throw 3 innings for 10 starts and then they start stretching you out further, to me, throwing, you have to throw the long. I'm a long tosser. This drive line stuff, all these analytic stuff, I really don't get. I have to talk about it on the Longhorn Network sometimes, but they give us stuff and I'm kind of going, I don't know. But me and my partner, Keith Moreland, the eye test is what we look at, but I throwing, I mean, like you said, guys are on pitch counts, and that starts in Little League. That starts all the way up. So we didn't have it. You got arm strength by pitching 120, 130 pitches a game. If I wasn't out there for that long, why was I even out there? So, and guys now, even at the major league level, at the fifth inning, they're looking over their shoulder. Why am I still out here? Wait a minute, I got 100 pitches. I knew my career I was getting along in my career when one of my managers came out and says, well, I'm taking you out because you're at 100 pitches. And I was like, what? I'm just getting loose. I mean, come on, let me keep going. So I like but the summer ball, you have to watch it yes. A little bit as far as innings, and guys aren't going to be really throwing a lot of innings. You might get that horse that will, but I wanted the ball. I wanted to finish what I started, and with those 32 complete games, I also had 14 or so saves in my career. So I was pitching on Friday and saving games on Saturday and Sunday. I just like to pitch and I like to have the ball. And my college coach gave me that opportunity, Coach Gus.
Any other questions for anybody? Thanks for that, Mike. Thanks for that, media. I'm surprised, Helen, you haven't had a question. I'm really surprised you haven't had a question. But
I don't have to ask questions. I'll just show up.
There we go. There we go. Listen, Greg, anything else you want to add? Todd, anything else you'd like to add before we let everybody get back to their day?
I think the last thing I think that I'll add is, it was really difficult, playing college baseball at University of Texas. We faced a lot of really good pitching, in conference, in Omaha at the College World Series, but nothing more difficult than playing inter-squad games and having to face Greg Swindell, Mark Pick-Isaac, and all these guys. So that was tough.
But it was easy it was like a day off when he pitched, wasn't it? Behind him on defense.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. And it was a day off for my bat when he pitched too.
But you get better with competition. So the same goes to me on the mound. I'm facing guys that played in the big leagues during inter squad as well. So it's that was competition is what it's all about. And if you don't want to compete when you're out there, you shouldn't be out there. So that's thank you for those words, Todd. I appreciate it. And I just hope everything clears up and we're able to be back on the field and in Victoria, which like I said, me and my wife, Todd's wife, Kira, drove us around that day and we saw it and fell in love with it. It's a beautiful city. I see the weather is about 30 degrees cooler than it is here in Texas in the summertime. So that's going to be a welcome.
I'll bet. I'll bet. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on here today. It's we're able to exciting today again. Given what the last 8-9 months have been, it's great to give some positive. Kyle, did you want to say something? Sorry.
I think we're good.
Thought I overheard something there. Just want to say thank you to everybody for coming on, and it's nice to talk positive things. And it is a sunny day here in Victoria, so I think you could say what you want about karma or luck or whatever coincidence, but I'd like to think the sun came out for this a little bit today, and you can all trust that we're doing everything we can here as a group in the front office. And I know Todd and Curtis and Mark and Greg, and also our coaches John Schnatterbeck and Troy Burtwhistle are going to do everything they can to be ready and put it on the field. And I also happen to have some intel on a team just an hour north of here on the island that's doing a lot of work to get ready as well. So it's going to be an interesting time when we're able to get back on the ball diamond because of the rivalry that we'll build there, the opportunity for even more top flight baseball as we get into the 2021 season and beyond. So thanks everybody for your time today. And if anybody has any questions outside of this, certainly can reach out to us. And if you want to reach out to anybody who's on the call, reach out to me and I can help to connect that as well. So thank you very much, everyone. And if no one else has anything else to say, I'll wish everybody a good day.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you. Thanks,
Can't wait to
everybody.
read my 11.
Media should have the press release, so it should be to you electronically. If not, give me a quick email and I'll get it to you.
That hat looks great, Greg.
Ready to wear it.
There we go. Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
See ya. Bye.
cheers.